And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the semifinals of the Sparkling Tuna Cup number 77. Your weekly dose of open StarCraft here on the Cranky Ducklings. And here we go. We have our PvP. Oh, potentially the first of many. I mean, we just had one, to be fair. But here we go. Jumping in, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the teal Protoss player, the South Korean Protoss. It is LunaSea. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player from Lena, Poland, representing Streamer Zone. It is Gerald. And if you're in the chats, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chats. Coming into this, Rebellion is gonna, Gerald is gonna be the favorite player here, but LunaSea has been rising through the ranks as of late, has been improving definitely, and we'll see how he compares, especially on a larger map. Neo Violet Square is one of the most vetoed maps of the map. Well, not the most. That's El Dorado, of course, but Neo Violet Square is definitely up there as well. So I'm curious how this or where this takes us. Neo Violet Square is the largest map in the map pool. Also, there is a pocket expansion, very defendable on 2, 3, 4, 5 bases as well. And we do often see a lot of late game. We see a lot of mid to late game here on Neon Violet Square because of how large it is, because of how defendable it is. But I wonder how applicable that is to PvP. Especially with how chaotic and aggressive PvP can be. Now, when it comes to the PvP matchup, Gerald, he is known for his late game. More often than not, whenever we cast Gerald in PvP, he does play things out a little bit more macro-oriented. He's very rarely more aggressive. We do see him often teching up, cutting corners, rushing into disruptors, and embracing Sky Toss much more faster than normal. So that's kind of where Gerald really thrives. Like, he has some killer late game PvP if he can get there. Meanwhile, we're going for a proxy, and this looks like a prime proxy Stargate location. Cybercore's now finishing up and show us the never mind. Proxy Robo, one base all in. Let's go. Let us go. It's going to be a one base all in here from the side of LunaSea. We'll see if he can overwhelm. We'll see if Gerald can realize what's going on. Now, bearing in mind, Gerald with the probe scout, he's looking and he sees the pylon is missing. He knows that the pylon is missing. The pylon needs to be somewhere. He double checks the pocket expansion. He double checks the natural as well. He's looking for the pylon. He knows it's somewhere. We know where it is, and we know it's a proxy, but for all Gerald knows, it could be a fake proxy pylon. And this is the danger of Neon Violet Square. Because it's so large, there are so many places to scout, so many places to check. It's so difficult to really confirm what's going on. As the probes are out, meanwhile, 2-gate opener out of Geralt into an expand. Economic start here by the Protoss player, by the blue Protoss. And LunaSea, he's moving out. He's getting ready to pull the trigger. Again, going for the initial prism first. Adepts threatening a dive. Does threaten the dive. They'll sip in towards the main. Oh, not quite caught out. There we go. Second force field does catch one of the Adepts. Adept does fall. Nice pickoff. As LunaSea is still just gearing up, the Prism has arrived, going to be reinforcing, moving out with those Adepts. And LunaSea going for the Ninja base? What's going on? What's happening? Okay. I was about to say the LunaSea could try to expand from here. He is expanding. He's going for top right. Hopefully he doesn't lead Geralt in this direction. As he does make his way towards the main. Geralt, he responds. He recalls back to the main base. We do have LunaSea following up with an Immortal. So, I mean, again, like, LunaSea is still hyper-aggressive here, making Immortals, but he's also expanding across the map. He's crazy. He's wild. What is he? He's LunaSea, Pap. He's a lunatic. Let's go. This is why we love LunaSea. It's why we love him. It's why we care for him. Protect his smile. As he's going to be rallying across the map. So far, still looking for a way in. Behind this, Geralt, he's still maintaining an economic advantage, and he's securing himself, going for his own robo, aware that something is wrong. I mean, he did spot the prism, of course. Geralt is keeping up, and so far so good. Geralt, he does defend, he does hold, and he's even cornering that prism. Oh, the prism! No, the prism! Prism is going to go down. One more shot, one more volley, and there's no dead space. The prism goes down. Massive pickoff. Ay, ay, ay. The Adept as well, and Geralt, he is miles ahead. Again, there's just not enough dead space here to hide a prism. Not enough room. Not like this, and LunaSea's in a really rough position. He's rebuilding the War Prism, he has an Observer, he has one Immortal, sure he has a Ninja base he just recalled over to, and he can get Saturation, I suppose, but it's looking a little bit bleak. Glaive's on the way, it's a 2-base all-in. Straight up, just 2-base all-in here from LunaSea. It's all he can do from this point. And as the game goes any longer, it's looking better and better for Gerald. Ay, ay, ay. Not like this. So LunaSea is going to move out. Likewise, Gerald, he does find the proxy, and he's going for it. He's going for the pylon. And he might be able to deny that Immortal. It's going to be close. It's going to be very close. The pylon is going to go down. The Immortal, no, it's barely done. It barely does fall out in time. Whew. Very close, very clutch. Likewise, busts into the main. Oh, and LunaSea almost gets the Immortal. Almost. Not bad. Almost does get it. Likewise, picks up here in the main. He doesn't get much damage, though. Doesn't get much. And again, the longer this goes on, the better it is for Creator. Oh, God, no! Immortal goes down. Better it is for Geralt, I meant to say, not Creator. That's Geralt. Ah, he wants the Immortal. Trying to chase it down with those Zealots. Getting very nice control. The Prism comes in to support, though. LunaSea, he will hold. Gerald forced back. Likewise, back at home, still building on more Immortals, getting into Blink. And he is just outscaling LunaSea over time. LunaSea trying to repower that Robo. And meanwhile, Gerald, he scouts, he sees. Gerald, he just figured out what was going on. He just found the Ninja base. Is now aware. You can see him respond. Yep, he moves everything over to deal with this expansion. And there's nothing here. There's Adepts, but there's no shield batteries. No shield batteries. Recall is available. That's LunaSea responding, my apologies. Does move over. And Geralt has scouted. Dropping into the main. Look, doesn't help that both players are blue. It's... It doesn't help that. He doesn't help. But here we go. LunaSea pushing up the rim. Nice force field. Slowing him down. But they don't quite commit. LunaSea does have the army supply lead. The Prism... Oh, Prism takes a lot of hits. Nice force fields. How the Depths are getting picked off. No, the Prism goes down. Massive pickoff. And with that, Geralt holds. He does hold on. He holds onto the high ground. LunaSea getting forced back. Still War Prism across the map. Still wreaking havoc. LunaSea still looking for a way in. Oh. Still at least trying to. Oh my god, but it's a meat grinder. So many Depths go down. The Immortal gets pinned. And he wants the Immortal. He dives in. Geralt, he will chase it down. The Immortal will fall. And LunaSea is just running out of steam. He's just running out of units. Down to one Immortal. True can reinforce with the Ninja base. True. If only he had gone for the gold. If only. Kappa. Meanwhile, we spoke earlier how we do often see Geralt rush into Disruptors, and he's done so even in this game. Even defending against an all-in. Disruptor production has begun. First one is out. Head up, say, threat in the shade. And Geralt just taking his pocket base. Why not? Is the advantage of Neo-Violet Square. And LunaSea is still just waiting for reinforcements. War Prison's being rebuilt. Shading almost behind into the pocket base. Almost. Geralt, he sneaks out, going for a hit squad towards that pylon, towards that proxy. Bold move here by Geralt, moves out with the Novas. Oh, they do not connect. That is going to be dead supply here for the very near future. There is going to be an opening for LunaSea. Jumping into the main. Stalkers, they come in from behind, they shut down the pylon. Let say shade in, Immortals into the main. And he's going to commit. Ooh, does commit to the shade. Pro's going to be going at the Nova. Massive connection. Oh my god, the Nova's brutal. And the Depths, they're going down. Again, they're not known for splitting. And LunaSea will lose everything. 3 Depths, they shade into the main. We still have that one Immortal. But things are looking bleak here. for the Teal Protoss. I mean, it has been for a while. Thankfully, no friendly fire. Prism goes down, and that's going to be it. That's going to be all we had left. LunaSea down to 1 Immortal. Recalls to the pocket base. I mean, Jesus, that's a lot of warpins. That's a lot of surviving adepts. Or reinforcing adepts. LunaSea still has an army, but it just doesn't really scale well. And yeah, Gerald, he can just fight this head on. Oh no! He's committing! He's going for it! He's crazy! GG gets called. And Gerald takes game number 1. GG. That was beautiful. GG, well played. Gerald, he does take a lead in the series, and we'll see. We'll see if LunaSea can bounce back here. I'm curious what the map of choice and the build of choice is going to be as well, as I have no idea what the hell I just saw. It was a thing of beauty. It was PvP. Peak PvP, Bobby. That's what I should say. As LunaSea went for a proxy robo into a ninja base, into a 2-base all-in. Unfortunately, of course, he was scouted, he was shut down, he was slowed down quite a bit, and Gerald was looking quite comfortable in game 1. And now we're getting into game number 2. Let's go. Yeah, let us go. This is LunaSea. Yeah, I did notice someone asking earlier about like who was Rebellion. If you are maybe a little bit unfamiliar with the online tournament scene or with the Korean scene, there is kind of like there was like a wave of Korean like up and coming amateur players, like semi-pros that rose up during the COVID era. Rebellion was before that, to be fair. Rebellion, he used to go by Gyelzing. I think he debuted like back in 2015, 2016, like around like the Legacy, the Void era of StarCraft is when Rebellion debuted. But the other Korean Protosses, or the other Korean semi-pros, referring to players like Quanta, referring to Quanta, Honmono, LunaSea, Farmy as well, 3 Points, Stephen Curry. There's like a wave of like these like up-and-coming Korean players. They did kind of more debut during the COVID era of StarCraft. That's where they rose up during like 2019, 2020, 2021. That is when those players did kind of hit the field. So again, if you haven't been watching specifically online tournaments or the Korean scene over the past couple of years, then you might be unfamiliar with them, as we are settling into game number 2. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of King's Cove, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Teal Protoss, down in the series, but an entertaining player nonetheless. It is LunaSea. Percival is also kind of amongst them. Similar to Rebellion, Percival was also like, I want to say like a generation before. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the Polish Protoss player, the Blue Protoss. Representing Streamer Zone, it is Gerald. Let's go. Let us go. But yeah, before like this wave of Korean like semi-pro players, before them was players like Rebellion, Percival comes to mind, Prince as well, DRG Ling. That's where I would place them, like DRG Ling, Prince, Percival. God, there's another that's slipping my mind. I want to say Zaun was also of that generation. I mean, of course, Zaun, unlike some of the others, did cement himself as, you know, did rise through the ranks and did hit pro. But I want to say that Zaun, again, he popped up around the same time as some of those others, like your Percival and your DRG Ling. Regardless, here we go. We're settling in. Settling in. So now we do have our tech of choice. Going to be a Stargate opener for LunaSea. I remember first seeing Zaun in GSL. Yeah. I mean, again, like Zaun, he was more successful. Like, unlike some of the others, like Zaun, he showed up a lot higher. Zaun, if I remember correctly, I believe he was on SKT, and DRG Ling, I believe he was on. Was he on Spenu? If I remember correctly, like DRG Ling, he was on Spenu, aka X Startail. This was like early Legacy. Was he on Spenu? I can't quite recall. Rebellion dates back to 2016. Yeah, that's what we said. I did mention that Rebellion was the generation before like LunaSea and Quanta and Honmono and all of them. Did say that. As we do have our initial Stalkers pushing up in towards the main. Gerald taking a more aggressive stance here, going for the Sentry. He wants it. He wants it, does bring it down. Likewise, Phoenix does pop out. With the help of the Phoenix, I believe we can hold on. It's going to be close here. The boys have to be pulled. And LunaSea should hold on, takes down the Stalker, forcing the recall. LunaSea holds. Whew. LunaSea does hold. Percival was big in Stormgate and Battle Aces, I think. Oh, that's nice to hear. That's nice to hear. I mean, again, it's great to see Percival back. I mean, again, Percival, he did play in today's tournament. I mean, he tried to play in today's tournament. I should emphasize that. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. Feels Percival. From here we are settling in. Getting our natural bases up and running. Initially a Stargate opener, but only a single Phoenix. Interesting choice here from LunaSea. Gerald, he comes in with his own Oracle, heads towards the main, does bypass a Phoenix, and probes are going to be going down. Getting 2, getting up to 3 probe kills already. 4 probes even, 5, and he will sack the Oracle. Does sack it. 5 probes, not bad. Back at home, Gerald does take a worker advantage, does take a worker lead, and is embracing Blink. Both players are. Blink and +1 from the side of Gerald. LunaSea getting into Blink, and not quite +1, but Blink into a Dark Shrine. Bold move here by LunaSea, bold move. I mean, when behind Dark Shrine is going to try and pop off with those DTs. Now, oh, no, wait. Oh my, did he scout? We do see Gerald, he throws down the cannon. I was about to say that Gerald, he has no mobile detection here, so something like DTs could pop off, but he is going for the safety cannon. Hallucination Scout is going to be denied. But regardless, I mean, this is going to bode well for Gerald, as, yeah, he will have detection, at least at the natural. So the chances of DTs ending the game are not as high. Both players expanding, both players taking their third bases. LunaSea does confirm the cannon. LunaSea is aware. Does check, does confirm. Likewise, Hallucination confirms the Dark Shrine. So both players are aware of each other. Now, what I will say is that even though now there's detection, now there's cannons, and now Geralt even knows about the DTs that can still wreak havoc in a longer game state. We see this time and time again with players like Hero, players like MaxFax, they have backup cannons on the way. But in the mid-game, especially because, you know, the game gets intense, armies are typically out of position or out on the map, DTs can slip in and can do a devastating amount of damage, especially if you're otherwise inattentive or focusing your attention elsewhere in a big fight, in a main fight. Likewise, we're also forcing more cannons out. We have a cannon here in the main, and I believe LunaSea has only warped in 1 Dark Templar, so 1 DT and a Dark Shrine forcing out 3 cannons. Really, almost a 4th cannon here as well, as the 3rd one was denied. Is forcing a reaction. Geralt is trying to keep up. So he does move out. Geralt likewise being active. Catching up some Stalkers, not bad. Gets 1. Geralt forced to recall. Is forced back home. And LunaSea shouldn't really gain any ground here. 1 Stalker does go down. Then to pull back, losing out a second. Oh my god, the surround comes in! At the same time, likewise, Oracle into the main. Getting a handful of probe kills. DT's into the main base as well. We spoke about this, but in the midst of all this chaos, DT wreaks havoc. 6 probes, not bad. Does go down. Oracle likewise gets picked up as well. Both players losing an equivalent amount of workers. 6 and 5. Whew. Now we can settle it. We can calm things down. LunaSea does come out with a slight economic lead with a higher probe count. Building up more Stalkers, getting into charge, focus on a very gateway-heavy composition. Big supply block for LunaSea. Supply block is brutal. And Geralt is taking a 4th base. So is the Teal Protoss. Both players expanding. Gerald still maintains a larger army supply and denies the fourth. Oh, that's a kill! That's a kill, not a cancel. Ay, ay, ay. Brutal pickoff. Not like this. As that's 400 minerals down the drain. LunaSea falling behind. Has potential with his army, but I mean, even though he has immortals, so does Gerald. Likewise, building up more immortals as well. Is building up more immortals. So now Gerald is going to be moving out. And again, still maintains that Stalker lead. And can just bleeds the opponent back. And really all that Gerald wants to do is just deny the base. Just deny the fourth base over and over again. Just contain LunaSea on 3 bases. At the same time, we do have a DT and Zealot counterattack here towards the main. There is static defense. Gerald being chased down, bleeding out Stalkers against Zealots. Yeah, nice pickoffs here from LunaSea. Likewise, busts into the main, goes for a massive warp in. A bit of a chaotic warp in is what I will say, as both players warp in. Cannon holding its own. Yeah, just really awkward positional play. Likewise, LunaSea trying to chase him down. The cannon does fall. DT's going to be wreaking havoc. Going for more Zealots. Likewise, LunaSea trying to push in, but a bit of an awkward attack from the Teal Protoss. Has to back off. And LunaSea, he is somewhat overwhelming. Yeah, bringing down the gateways. Going for the Immortal if at all possible. LunaSea rotates over towards the natural. Takes down 6 probes. Trying to get away with that 1 DT. Up is going to be chased down. And a better angle here from LunaSea. Tries to engage. Doesn't commit though. Pulling back to get those reinforcements into play. But now backs off, and Gerald he holds. Does hold on. Gerald still maintains the better economy. His 4th base has been up and running this entire time. Even if he lost probes in the main, it didn't matter. Did not matter. Gerald he maintains that supply lead. And now getting into disruptors. Once again, second robo into the bay, into disruptors. Again, Gerald he's quite fond of rushing into disruptors in this matchup. The Immortals are left alone. They're left exposed. 1, 2 of them go down. Oh, just 1. Never mind. Second Immortal does survive. But now Gerald, he can finally focus on his move out. Focus on his push. Takes down the final Immortal. Oh, Prism gets targeted. Nicely done here by LunaSea. Takes down the War Prism. LunaSea, he's holding on. He's holding. Getting into Archon production. This is the more standard kind of rate of progression for PvP, is Blink Stalker into Charged or Immortal Archon production. This is more standard. Meanwhile, Geralt, he deviates from the norm. I assumed it was going to be Disruptor. My apologies. Colossus. Double Colossus production here out of Geralt. Skilless, is that you? Let's go. And you may be thinking, Colossus, that's not really seen too often in PvP. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. It's a very niche style. Colossus can actually do very well against gateway units, against Zealots, against Stalkers, against specifically a gateway-focused army. Colossus can do very well. What they struggle against is other disruptors, which is why usually, as PvP progresses, you get into disruptor wars. But alas, LunaSea has no disruptors. It's mainly gateway-based, so Colossus, they can actually trade well. They can actually do well here for Geralt. Colossus are almost like an alternative to Archons, where they both do splash damage, they both do well against Zealots, just in very different ways. Meanwhile, massive warping into the main. Likewise, LunaSea pushing in. Trying to break through. Archons, they should burn through all those Zealots. And can they get on top of the Colossus? As the Colossus, they're raining down on the Stalkers. Archons pushing in. Getting on top of the army. That one Immortal doing so much in the back line, though. It takes out every single Archon. And the Archons do full. Warping into the main is being cleaned up. There are some DTs, but Geralt, he holds. He does hold on. Shuts down the main army. Colossus, they stand strong as well. And from here, Gerald, he can now finally embrace what he does best. The Disruptors. Disruptors, they are on the way. Gerald getting a 5th expansion, so is LunaSea. But Gerald, he is in a stronger position. Does find the Prism. Or Prism is going to go down. Oh, I don't know. But it does recall. Does recall back home. LunaSea still being as active as possible. Going for a backstab. Zealous towards the 5th, Stalker towards the 4th. Zealous going for the Nexus. A bold move here from LunaSea. He will not get it. It doesn't get the expansion. Likewise, Gerald with that better economy. I mean, he has been able to embrace greater upgrades. He's on 3-1. Soon to be 3-2, as +2 shields is on the way. Up. So let's see his force back. He's going to be forced back home. Likewise, Gerald's building up his army. He's almost maxed. He's almost maxed out, and he's outscaling LunaSea. Now, there is a chance for LunaSea to bounce back in this game, but a lot of it is heavily reliant on harassment and run-bys and dealing economic damage and buying time. Unfortunately, Gerald is securing himself with shield batteries, more cannons, more stack defense to make sure that whenever he does decide to move out, he will have something to delay any kind of harassment, to give him time to respond. So Gerald is just securing himself. And he's about to max out. So is LunaSea, but LunaSea has a cheaper army. His army is very heavily reliant on Zealots. It's mainly a Zealot-based composition. So the soup is lying, as it often does. The soup does lie. Both armies are maxed, but one is not quite like the other. As LunaSea is going to try to push into Disruptors, Nova's going to be going off. Zoning LunaSea back. He's pushing in. Nova's going to be going up. Ooh, massive connections. Mainly the Zealots on the Archons as well. Yeah, and you can see LunaSea just plummets in supply. Ay. They're dropping 40 army supply in a couple of Novas. And the Novas, they're not done. Ooh, they just keep going. They keep popping off. The Zealot army just completely crumbled. At the same time, DTs across the map, 15 probes do go down. And LunaSea is falling apart. He's falling apart. He's forced to recall back home. He's forced to recall. Scout, he's rotating around. And all the Novas! Just cashing out the mineral line as well. The base does fall. 19 probes as well. And LunaSea's on his last legs. He's on his last legs here. He's stuck on a 4-base economy, stuck on 47 workers. Has an army to work with, that is true, but as we were mentioning earlier, it just doesn't really scale well against what Gerald has to work with. Gerald's army is just much more efficient. Much more efficient. As he's reached almost his final form of Disruptor. He's up to 5, soon to be 7 Disruptors. And Gerald, he likes handling his balls, Poppy. He's good at it. I mean, for good reason. It's crazy. Gerald double expanding, getting another 2 expansions at once. Getting a 6th and 7th base at the same time. Here we go. And there's that fleet beacon as well. If Geralt ever needs to, he's ready for Skytoss. He's getting ready for Skytoss. Gearing up for it. Geralt, calm down. Did kill his own Stalker, I believe, to warp in extra DTs. Fair enough. Just refining his army. Now he's pushing it. The Novas go up. Ooh, massive connections. Blink's on cooldown, and the Novas, they connect. They smash into the Stalkers. Not like this. LunaSea is just trying to keep up. Trying to max out. Just the force fields, once again, another Nova. This time it does not quite connect. Nice lift. Oh, but the other Novas will connect. They crash into the Stalkers. Phoenix is doing what they can. Most of the Disruptors do go down. The Zealots, they pop off. They shut down the Disruptors. Gerald being forced back. Gerald has a massive bank, but he needs to warp in. He needs reinforcements here and now. As LunaSea is all in. He's completely all in. He has to keep going, has to keep pushing. Oh, as Gerald, he does reinforce. Massive wave of Stalkers. Disruptors as well. Novas, they crash into the Immortals. Now there's one Immortal left for LunaSea. And he's running out of steam. He's running out of steam. It was a good effort. It was a good effort. Did destroy all 7 Disruptors, which was impressive. I believe he also killed the Colossus as well. He got the most out of his army. Despite that, yes, he can't remax. Despite that, he has no economy left. That's another Archon falls. We see Gerald getting a ninja base. I mean, why not at this point? I mean, may as well. As Gerald has yet to really close things out, but has been dominating these fights. LunaSea really just treading water, trying to hold on. Massive DT counterattack coming in from the right-hand side. Does get spotted. Does get scattered. Just trying to sneak up on LunaSea. Never's going up. Catching out Archons, catching out Stalkers. He is pushing in. Forcing his way forward. Zoning back LunaSea. Novas once again. Oh, they get the Immortal. The Immortal goes down. The Immortal does fall. Likewise, DTs, they try to bust into the mineral line. LunaSea, he's holding on there. He's defending. Does have the Archon. But now the main armies do clash. And GG gets called as LunaSea, he just runs out of resources, runs out of steam. And Gerald will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, Gerald, he was just so quick to tech up, to embrace, of course, not just Disruptors, but Colossus, get into a greater economy as well. And congratulations, Gerald, he will take the series and is going to be our first finalist. But the question becomes, who is our second finalist, as we're getting ready here for our upper semifinals?